Hello all, hope you is good. Welcome back to Europa Universalis 4. So, here's the newest campaign for the old YouTubes, I suppose. Much like the France campaign, we immediately start on the first day with an event. So this is new to my eyes. I've not seen this before. It's been some time since I played the Mamluks. Administering the Northern Territories. So we can either get cores on the whole of the Syrian land, give them a Libby desire, or do nothing. So I'm gonna take the cores at the behest of Libby desire. We'll fix their Libby desire soon enough. Let's rival the Ottomans. QQ. And this looks stupid, but it probably will... I was about to say it looks stupid, it will probably go away as Lithuania. But what if Poland don't take the Jagiellonian? Let's lock in the Timurids. That sounds more logical. So the achievement I'm going for with this run, ultimately, is Breadbasket of the World, as the Mamluks export grain to every continent at least once. So, I have already sort of scouted ahead and checked this. There's a decision here, or a mission here, sorry, that once I own certain provinces that have prosperity. No, they don't even need prosperity for this mission. That's for another one. But I need 40% crown land. Then I'll have workshops and counting houses or counting houses in those provinces. I then unlock grain export diplomatic action. So I'll then be able to use that and then just, you know, fulfill this mission. Easy peasy. Let's start with who's the best to vassalize. So I'm going to vassalize Medina because there's a mission to put Hijaz and Medina together. I know that much. I want to vassalize Fezzan. There's also a mission called Recruit the Mamluks, which gives me 10% of the army as Mamluks, which then gives me perma-claims on Tunisia. So I think the first port of call will be to aim for attacking Tunisia. So let's maybe ally Fezzan to begin with. I'll also summon the diet. Don't worry, we will get going soon. Let's have 2 privileges to the Dhimmi. We'll sort that out in a moment. Seize land. And we'll go through the estates. So the Ulama can take admin power and monthly piety. I may take some more, but let's take those 2. And where's the... Where are you? Grant residence to scholar. That's the one. Let's take either admin tech cost or aggressive expansion. I think AE in the long run will be better. I may come back for some more privileges. You know what? Maybe I take the religious diplomats as well. We'll leave the ulama there though. For the Mamluks, which is just the rename for the nobility, we'll take mill power. I'll take strong duchies for the Libby desire in all of my subjects. I will have a few of them. We'll grant court positions, and I'll take officer rights. We already have this endless Mamluks on. All it does is changes the nobilian influence equilibriums. Not a big issue. We'll take monthly diplo power. We're patrons of the arts, and I think I want Merchant Guild's bookkeeping. We'll take that off later. And the Dhimmi, I need 2. So, let's take Dhimmi education. And where's the... I could take Dhimmi Contribution Act, but I think for now, I'll just take Grant Dhimmi Liberties. That fulfills the estate mission. And it keeps the Dhimmi kind of high, which will be useful considering I want the equilibrium for, or the loyalty rather, for the reform progress modifier to be kept good. or to be kept well. We'll also ally Medina. The plan will be to get those two up to 190 and vassalize them. I want to keep a diplomat in Syria. Let's also build up the Mamluks infantries. These bad boys. I need to build 3, but they give reinforced speed, drill gain and morale damage. So what I'd quite like to do is build them all for now. Something like this. And the Mamluks, let's go through their ideas. So we start with cav combat ability and trade steering. We'll finish with provincial trade power. Not bad, a bit of trade. But actually, more trade in here, courtesy of a doubled up idea. More trade in here. I like the yearly prestige. Manpower recovery speed, nice. Bit of discipline. Production efficiency. Then stab cost. But I do not want to be the Mamluks forever. The plan will be to form Egypt. Not Arabia, of course. I will take Egypt. Even though the Mamluks were my very first 1821 campaign, and I did form Arabia from them. This was back before they were, you know, anything special. Arabia was a really pointless formable. But of course, past me didn't know that. I think I got to about 4,000 base tax back when the game was measured before the whole development inclusion. It was kind of neat. So let's do some funky shenanigans. I get cav combat ability, but what I'd quite like to do is actually remove the cav. It's rather costly. So we'll just take these. I'll have the 7 extra Mamluk units. And I'd quite like a grand company. It will funnel me a couple units over my max. But the mercenary manpower will just save me some. So we go, there's the plan. And now what? Tax modifier for 20 years in 3 provinces. Or I can get tech cost for 20 years, sorry. I'd rather take tech cost for 20 years if I'm honest. That's quite a nice little event. So yeah, let's work on Medina or Fezzan first. Let's work on Fezzan first, I think. So with Medina, I'll improve relations. With Fezzan, let's proclaim guarantee and do all the fancy stuff. So just passively improve relations with Medina. And cycle Fezzan real quick. I'm actually not prioritizing allies. Let's also roll the first general. Please be good. Ah, really good actually. That's respectable. That's very respectable. Take a royal marriage from Medina. And yes, I do need advisors. That is a good call, game. Let's take out 1 more corruption loan. So I'll sit at 6 corruption. And then in order of importance, it's Mill, then admin. Can I still just about afford dip? Yeah. However, I don't have a level 1 diplomatic reputation. That's a shame. So we'll do this. You can see I've got Hejaz and Fardal. They're also loyal subjects. Now, Anazar are allied with Sin Kaifa, but they own a Fardal core. So I think the plan should be... Let's not move this away. Let's go towards Anazar. So the plan will be to take on Anazar real quick. For reconquest. And Sin Kaifa. I'm going to ignore Sin Kaifa. Let's attack. Medina needs to be at peace, not me, for me to vassalize them. But yeah, in the meantime, let's just get working on reconquest. AQ did ally the Ottomans, so it's a bit up in the air vis-a-vis taking the cause back for Syria. But worst comes to worst, I can improve relations with Syria, which will allow me to just straight up integrate them immediately to reduce the downsides for my other units as well. Tunis want to be my first target probably. They've allied Grenada and Morocco. That's nothing really that new. I'll put everyone in Cairo actually, and maybe what I'll do is drill for a bit and let my mercs do a lot of the heavy lifting in the meantime. So Fezzan want knowledge sharing? Absolutely. I'm going to offer them military access. Military access being a gateway to vassalizing them. And don't worry about the stats on the general. The general's just there to drill. I don't mind what the general's actually doing. So let's go hunt down this 4K. In the meantime, offer access. I can also send them a gift. That'll boost me up to 184/185. Then account for the fact that they're improving my relations. Are they not? They're not. Okay, I'll need to improve their relations. But I can send gift and... Actually no. Instead of sending them a gift, let's just get them to transfer trade power or steer trade, which these days does not affect your relations. It does have to be transfer. That's fine. So yes, I want to probably just improve relations rather than send them a gift. And then with Medina, I can take the diplomat off and do them instead. So let's improve relations. I don't need to spend a penny on them. Let's save the money. Also, the Mamluks now get a 3 government system, similar to when I was playing as Iran, when I had the Zoroastrian policies. It's kind of similar to that. One gives me all power costs, another one gives me ducats, and another one gives me manpower. So there's a lot of passive little bonuses along the way there. Let's remove the diplomat from Medina. I want to offer access. And let's go fight Sin Kaifa. So there's a bit of build up to get the breadbasket of the world. So we just need to get that done, basically. I'll also ask them to transfer trade power to me. Then I might just put them back onto... Oh! Let's go for the Circassian ruler now. 434. Good. That's a couple extra points than what I did have. Just ask Medina to transfer trade power. I might put the other thing back on. You also notice that when my ruler changed, I did not suffer any stability loss. It's just part of the Mamlukian government mechanics. Nicely enough. Let's up the game speed here. And I'll go back to improving relations because it seems I've done most things with Medina already. Which is quite marvellous. Then I want to move towards legalism. Tolerance of the true faith is whatever, but The other stuff is good. As in the legalism. And let's maybe go attack these Sinkhaifa units. Sure, Syria won't currently be able to help me out due to their very disloyal position. That's excusable for now. So yeah, the plan will be reconquer for Ainza. Sorry, yeah, Aniza, not Ainza, sorry. And then probably go for Tunis. By that point I will have Fez under my belt. Also bear in mind that part of the current reason for my money loss is that I'm 3 units over. Which is currently feeding 1.5 over force limit. So once that's settled we'll be fine. I may have to take a loan or two. In fact I maybe just might take the indebted to the burghers. Is a current consideration. If I take this first and give those 3 provinces marketplaces, the indebted to the merchant guild would no longer cost mercantilism, which would be quite nice. And Shamar's declared war on Aniza. Well, unlucky Shamar, you're not taking any of their land, buddy. It's mine. Get out of here. And then I might take Al Ula for myself. Or do I just give this to Fardal as well? I think I'll give it to Fardal as well. That can just be passive and just sit there. I won't have to worry about my paper mana then. I can just funnel it to them and pay via bird mana later. So my opening idea sets will be diplomatic and quantity. Diplomatic, quantity and admin. I might take quantity first, I might take diplomatic first. But admin will most likely be third. Is how this will start. The order of quantity and diplomatic can be either way in my eyes, if I'm honest. And in 5 more relations, Fezan will become my vassal. And what's this about? The city of Cairo. Much older than our own Sultanate, Cairo has been embedded by rulers and conquerors for hundreds if not thousands of years. Bringing order to them made of buildings, blah blah blah, great city of Cairo. I can trade value modifying goods produced. Cairo gets technology cost, monthly party plus 0.2. I think, because we're starting out here, I'll take the reduction in production and tax from the province, and for 10 years gain extra piety and a tech cost reduction. That sounds sensible. So we have an automatic surrender from Aniza. Sinkhaifa would only give me 15 ducats, so let's maybe take the surrender. That'll also save my merc manpower. I'm so close to vassalizing Fezan, but that's okay. Give me the money. And yes, unfortunately I did have to take a loan there. But there we go. 1 down. What I would like to do is get ready for Tunis. They haven't allied the Ottomans, thank goodness. That is a real possibility. And I didn't actually put my ships on trade mode. Also, I could have totally just unmaintained my ships during war there and saved some money. No worries. 189. Let's move this out this way. 1 more tick of the month, and I have Fezan as a vassal. I need to continue dealing with Medina, of course. So the Osman's going for Dulkadir. I'm also guaranteeing Cyprus. I might want to revoke that. I don't really care what happens to Cyprus. I'll need to take it at some point or another. I think there's like, I think there used to be an event it probably still exists, where Mamluks just inherit Cyprus as a vassal. But for now, let's deal with things the way I'm dealing with them. I'll push this out, and we'll undrill with my main army. And let's get moving towards Tunis. Start taking some land. Again, I'll be vassalizing Medina in the midst of my war. So, Granada and Morocco will be nothing more than money fodder. Let's make it a core. Let's make it the conquest of Thubakt, just because it's an easy war goal to take. Or maybe I make it Kef, so that when I have the war goal, it's maintained easier. So it's either an easy to take CB or a easy to maintain CB. Let's go with an easy to maintain CB, if I'm honest. Here we go. We'll start sending these all out. I will want to split this army. 27k is a bit much in one. Let's try and maybe cut down a little bit on this attrition. Also, it can be a split amount for sieging. So 2 good reasons there. So yeah, in we go. Also, go on, Fezzen, you've got this. Also, what's quite nice is that the Ottomans are going for Dulkadir first. They're kind of ignoring Byzantium for now, which is good. Long may that remain. If the Ottomans take a while to take on Byzantium, that means I don't have to deal with such an angry Ottomans early. Really, the Mamluks are one of the nations in the game that are actually on par with the Ottomans at the beginning of the game. But we'll accelerate ourselves past them at some point soon. It's okay. It won't be on par with us for too long. Also, maybe could have got myself in position sooner rather than declare the war straight away. Poor Fezzen losing their units. And I lost my relative strength. So if they're leaving all their ships... Yeah, that's what I thought. I was going to say if they're leaving all their ships out here, my units can just walk into Jerba. But that's okay. I'll bring my navy. Although it's not strong, it should be enough to deter the Tunisians from staying out in the Gulf of Gabes. So I can put my units in Jerba. And I'll control this side of the strait and we'll stack wipe the Tunisians. Just notice that little extra advantage. Aha, out come the Fezzen fleet. Good job. So yeah, we'll take Tatooine. The Moroccan fleet aren't helping out here for some reason, so I can just do this. That being said, they don't need the help. Let's take her Admiral just for security. And hopefully... No, they're reinforcing themselves, unfortunately, here. I might have to pull back with this fleet. And we'll surprise attack them later. That's a shame, I didn't need to spend points on the Admiral then. That was a waste. Oh well. That was a bad dip loss event. If nothing else. So now all the fleets are going away. Probably to block me in Sirte, honestly. If you're going to do that, at least keep somebody in charge of the Gulf of Gabes. So when I cross over, you don't just immediately get run down. Let's grab this army as well. And the plan will be to attack into these Tunisians for the stack wipe. Go this army first. So it's the 14th of February. That's the 15th, so that's perfect. I'll bring these fleets out into the Gulf of Gabes. So when Tunis try to... Oh, hold on. Run away. Oh, hold on. They're going to do the opposite on me now. You know what? Fair play. Good job, Tunis. That was well thought out. Yeah, they outplayed me. Shame to see. It's alright, we can buy back a Merc company. I've still got enough armies here to just win the war. So let's put this army in. Then follow it up with this army. In you go. Should have gone in sooner, but for some reason it didn't. They don't control both sides either. So it's a stack wipe back on them. You stack wipe my mercs, I stack wipe your army. Mine was the more expensive one though. Yeah, actually when you say it like that it sounds worse, doesn't it? So let's vassalize Medina. And now I believe that gives me an event because I control both the holy cities. Here we go. So the event of the holy cities happens where I want Hejaz to control both. Put me down to 1 subject instead of 2 there. Look at that. That's all in one now. Then let's see about grabbing some more vassals. Maybe. Because I've got 1 slot back up. Let's see who would be a vassal. And grab them. Offer vassalization. Jared would. I'm not bothered about them. Shamar would. Najran would. So a couple of the guys down here would. I'm not bothered about many of them as vassals. Maybe I work on Dawasir? If any? But for now let's just improve with my current vassals. And start getting the ideas out and start getting the annexations out of the way ready. Okay. I'm already on the province of Jerba. And what's this? Gain dip power or fiddle about with the merchant guilds? Let's just take the mercantilism. 33 is not much in the way of dip power. Also, Fardal, how did you get your units around there, you wily scamp? Did they have temporary access through Jared? I think they had temporary access through Jared, but now they're stuck there. Which is fine by me. So to fix Syria, we need to get rid of 37% Liberty Desire. The event's going down already. I can use Prestige to get rid of some. So maybe what I'll do is after this war, I'll use all my culminated prestige to reduce the Liberty Desire of Syria. Maybe the plan? Unfortunately, Tunisia built up enough units to take on poor Fardal over here. And yeah, I really am just waiting for the siege of Jerba before I can move in and around Tunis properly. Because I don't have access through Jared. I could also use A diplomatic relations slot for the access? Yeah, I could also use a diplomatic relations slot for the access considering I'm at 5 out of 6. I'll grab the relevant vassal that I want later. For now, let's get access. Bit late to decide that, but hey, we're getting there. They won't be able to build up enough units to stop me in Jerba. I can go stop them in Sfax, maybe take Kef. Maybe it sounds like a plan. And the Ottomans are supporting the independence of Transoxiana. This is good, because then the Ottomans will be over in the Middle Eastern lands, while I could maybe slip in and take Anatolia. Also distracts them from taking Byzantium for longer. Okay. I can't actually go to Sfax right now. That's okay. I'll just siege both of their provinces at the same time. Poor Hejaz will never see it coming. Unlucky. And let's see what decisions I have. Oh yeah, let's take. Well, I'm not going to take the replace resident scholar. Let's take the national unrest and legalism. That puts my piety slider up a little bit more, which is what I want. I don't necessarily want to use the piety system to reduce corruption just yet, because I'd rather want the tech cost reduction actually. Bearing in mind I already received some tech cost reductions due to not just the legalism I currently have, but also due to the event I had earlier. So we're looking good. And yeah, Mamluks will de-siege their stuff over here, not a problem. Morocco being here as well could be a problem though. That actually could be a problem. I'm also the 5th greatest power in the world right now. That will be changing. We will move up. But it just involves taking land from Tunis and integrating vassals before that happens. I also need to go deal with Morocco. Because sometimes Morocco just end up dealing with themselves. The vassals aren't too disloyal. For one, they've got that working in their favour. I could go siege, say, Fez and just like knock them out of the war potentially. It's all about waiting for these mercs to finish on this island. Also, if I can get Tech 4 mil while we're in this war, that'd be marvellous. Let's maybe put on mill power now. I want to get ahead militarily, and I might end up making quantity ideas my first ones. I don't often do mill as a first idea group actually. I normally make it like diplomatic or such. So it would be a slight mix up. Even though the recommendation is normally to make your first one a mill or a dip one. Oh, the fort's nearly there. Unfortunately, this will give me devastation in my land because they'll probably siege everything up to Alexandria. And what's this about? Base tax or production? Let's go production. I don't care to look at what the province will do, but production normally works out better regardless of trade good type in the long run over base tax. Unless you stack up some tax modifier stuff. And this is the province of Bahira. It was salt, so it wasn't even a bad call. Oh, I've just noticed the episode timer. That's forgiven for a first episode, I suppose. So thank you for watching. Prepare yourself for the new series, and I'll catch you soon.